In the summer months, I'm always sourcing at the car boots. But this year my health got in the way and I had 6 weeks where I was literally off my feet. So I missed sourcing in all of July and I missed sourcing in part of August, and I was also off work unpaid. So most of my good eBay stock had already sold. It had all gone. So I just had the dregs listed. The only way I could resolve this problem was reducing things, having a bit of a sale. So here are all my sales that I had in August. I'm going to talk you through them now, starting off with the toys. So with most of my good stuff already sold on eBay, I started searching through the dregs, toys that were damaged like this Ertl Airwolf helicopter, and also toys that I'd just not listed. And I had to reduce some of these things down, so you might see there with the Monster High doll, it was $18.99, but it sold for $11 because that was on offer. The same with these dolls here, that was also on offer at $11.99. Did really well with these Jazzware regular show. I forgot I'd got these and I just listed them and they sold. Some of the things I listed, like this Star Trek, they were generally big fails, but I just needed the cash, so I had to get them up, and they sold. Also sold quite a few of my older Duplo bits, the spares that I'd got left over, and some of these old cars that I wasn't going to list because they were quite scratched up, but everything's been explained in the descriptions. I also messaged the sellers before just to let them know that they were quite scratched and sent quite a lot of photos, so it's just about covering yourself really before you post stuff out. This Merrythought Teddy had been listed for £50 for 3 months, but in the end it was a case of just reducing it. I also started listing some of my older collectibles. I bought this Princess Leia at the toy fair a few months back, to be honest, but it was just sitting around, so I decided to just turn it into cash, made £10 profit on it. Job's a good one. Another one of my collectibles from Aliens, and it was a case of it was just sitting around in my bedroom, so get the cash for it. Vintage toy spare parts. I had loads of these sat around, like this Star Wars canopy. I managed to get $14.99 for that, and this was just from a massive bundle that I paid £9 for. I'd sold quite a lot of it off already, and these were from a bundle I got at the toy fair for £9, so I started listing these up. And you know, some of them I did take offers on, like these Transformer spare parts, but most of them were from this £9 bundle, so it's really come good in the end. Some of the profits are not big on a lot of these, but they're consistent, and that's the main thing, is trying to turn over consistent sales, particularly when you don't really have a great amount of good stock. So if you're having a bad day at a car boot and you're not finding a lot of stuff, always go around a second time, have a look through the rummage boxes, particularly at house clearance stores, and occasionally you can find some really good vintage toys, not necessarily in good condition, and sometimes it's just like the little parts and the accessories, but some of these come really good. I can make you a really good profit, or some of them, like these, don't do very well, but still it's always worth picking these bits up. So most of my small sales, consistent small sales, have been from these small little parts that I found in rummage boxes. Video games, I've not done very well with these this year. When I first started going around car boots in 2010, I was doing a lot of CEX trading, and I used to find some really good video games out there, but they're really hard to find now, so it's getting quite problematic. It seems to be the thing that everybody's jumping on, so I generally don't pick up a lot of video games. cameras have been on my bucket list all year at Carboots, but I've really found it hard to pick these up because a lot of resellers are going around picking these cameras up. I sold quite a few cameras back in July, but these are just the dregs that I've got left over, and to be honest, they're not in perfect condition, so all of that was explained when they were sold. Also, I've got quite a few Walkmans and Discmans in stock, but for some reason they're not selling at the moment, so maybe I need to reduce them down. Trainers have always been hard for me. I had to reduce these down to £35, these Hockers, because they had been listed for 3 months, and I didn't really sell a lot of other shoes other than that, really, to be honest. I sold the Lely Kellys, that's my last pair now. I had about 4 pairs of them. They've sold super quick, and I had to rapidly reduce these Doc Martens down, which was quite sad. They just didn't want to sell. They've been up for 3 months. And finally, these Crocs, they always go. Not for a lot of money, but they consistently sell. I'm running seriously short now of rugby and football gear. I seem to have sold quite a lot of that this year. It's been very good, very lucrative. And this one here I picked up at Doncaster, and a Chesterfield top, the kids one. All my Chesterfield stuff's gone now, so I've got one Notts County top left after this. So in general, the football top's been pretty good. You have to identify them though, and you have to look at the codes, which I'll talk about in another video. So a lot of these were reduced rapidly, these clothes, because clothes just have not been selling for me this year. Luckily I picked them up fairly cheap at the start of the year, and I probably won't bother with clothing too much next year. It's something I really need to learn about, if I'm going to be honest. It's not my strength. Levi jeans though, that is my last pair that are sold. I've been selling them all year. And I only have 1 pair of these vintage Umbro shorts left. I've been selling these all year for £25. And Christmas has come early. This Raymond Biggs light has sold for £29.99. £556.89 profit. Hang on, 20% tax deduction, £113.37, making it only £443.52 profit. So when I look at my eBay this month, it will say that I've made nearly £1,000. Most people put these up as a bit of a humble brag, but you never make as much money as your eBay actually tells you. And the reason for that is this figure includes all fees and postage costs. So is eBay really worth it? For me, yes, definitely. I love doing it, it's fun to do, and you do get a little bit of a profit. So we're nearly at 1,000 subs now, and that brings us very close to being monetized and bringing in a bit of extra cash for the family. So if you have enjoyed it, do hit the like, do hit the subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.